A financial crash is a serious decline in the market and fluctuations, which is probably a symbol of an economic crisis. The 2008 crash had a serious impact on the US and global economy. To understand the issues related to this crash, we need to understand what the economy is. Then we will learn about the history of this crash, and finally we will discuss the causes, consequences, and remedies of the crash that occurred in 2008. What is the economy? The economy is a process that goes towards continuous development through the medium of a society's economic status, production, and financial exchange. Based on widespread mentality, global commerce, and novelty, the comprehensive meaning of this process is that the economy is a living system that enables proper economic conditions through production, exchange, and conservation. Previous crashes. The stock market crash of 1929 is one of the most well-known crashes in history. The event occurred on October 24, 1929, also known as Black Thursday, when the stock market lost 11% of its value. The 1929 crash was followed by the Great Depression, which lasted until the late 1930s. The dot-com bubble, also known as the Internet bubble, was a speculative bubble in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The bubble burst in 2000, resulting in a loss of trillions of dollars in market value. Many Internet companies went bankrupt, and the Nasdaq Composite Index lost 78% of its value. Causes of the 2008 financial crash. The housing bubble was the main cause of the 2008 financial crash. Banks were lending to people who could not afford to pay back their loans, and the housing market was overvalued. When people started defaulting on their loans, the housing market collapsed. This led to a chain reaction, with banks and financial institutions going bankrupt. Another cause of the financial crash was the deregulation of the financial industry. The repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act in 1999 allowed banks to engage in risky behavior, such as investing in mortgage-backed securities. Consequences of the 2008 financial crash. The 2008 financial crash had serious consequences for the US and global economy. The unemployment rate in the US increased significantly, and many people lost their homes and savings. The stock market lost trillions of dollars in value, and many banks and financial institutions went bankrupt. The global economy went into a recession, and it took several years for the economy to recover. Remedies for the 2008 financial crash. In response to the 2008 financial crash, the US government passed the Troubled Asset Relief Program, TARP, which provided financial assistance to banks and financial institutions. The Federal Reserve also lowered interest rates to stimulate the economy. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act was passed in 2010 to regulate the financial industry and prevent future crises. Conclusion. The 2008 financial crash was a significant event in US and global economic history. The housing bubble and deregulation of the financial industry were the main causes of the crash. The consequences of the crash were serious, with many people losing their homes and savings, and the global economy going into a recession. The government responded to the crisis with financial assistance and regulations to prevent future crises.